In this video, I am going to show you together with my friend Pinko here. Notice he's smiling, so smile is good for you. Another example of finding the gradient of a function and then evaluating it at a point and drawing a level curve and drawing a picture of the gradient. So we'll draw some pictures here to make this a little more vivid. Let's take a look at what we have. Some people learn with symbols, some people love pictures. Okay. So this is the function given to us. G of x, y. Okay, so the function is g, the variables are the x and the y, and the definition of the function is y minus x squared. So with this in place, and we will find the gradient at the point -1, 0. Okay? See, he's smiling. He got a PhD in mathematics, so he's very smart. He's going to help us. All right. The first step is find the gradient of the function. How do we do it? The definition of the gradient is a function of x and y, two blanks, the I component, plus a blank, the j component. So this is a gradient, and this is a vector. In this case, a vector in the xy coordinate plane, and it tells us the total rate of change of a function, so to speak. Okay? It consists of two partial rates of change. So in that sense, you can think of it as giving you the total rate of change. Okay, let's take a look. Let's differentiate this. So g sub x, okay, so the partial of g with respect to x is just -2x, and the partial with respect to y is just 1. So we plug those as the components of the gradient. So you have -2x, and then we have 1j. So this is our gradient vector for any x and y. Let's evaluate this gradient vector at the point -1, 0. So the gradient evaluated at the point, let me highlight this so you see -1, 0 at that point is equal to the following. So you have to make this more concrete. You write -2, replace x with -1. Put in your I, and then plus, and the j component is constant, so you can just keep it as 1j. Okay? So we have to simplify this part, right, where we put in the -1. So we have 2i plus 1j. Okay, so this is our gradient vector at one point only in the xy coordinate plane. It's like, okay, I got it so far, nice. Now, the next step is we want to mark this gradient vector. And to do that well, you have to first find the level curve of the function. So to find the level curve that goes through that point, you have to evaluate the function at that point. So in other words, you are doing g of -1, 0. Okay, you're evaluating the function at the point in question, and now this will give us 0 minus -1 squared, which of course is positive, well, that's -1, there you go. Okay, so that's our level curve, -1. Now that we have this in place, let's sketch this level curve. So what we will do is take the function g, set it equal to -1. So y minus x squared equals -1. With this in place, this is a curve in the xy coordinate plane. We can sketch it. So this is the following curve, y equals x squared minus 1. So you see it's a parabola that's been shifted down by 1. So the first step, draw a prize-worthy coordinate system so things are neat. Neatness absolutely counts. It means you care. Okay, there you go, x and y. Once this is in place, the next move is to draw that curve. That's x squared minus 1. So let's see. We will take it roughly as this here. That's our curve. Now we mark the gradient at the point -1, 0. So that is this point right here, negative 1, 0. You mark the gradient. What are the components of the gradient? It's 2 to the right, it's 2i. Okay, so let me mark that with a bright orange here. Make it thick, so it's 2 to the right. And then it's 1 straight up. So 1 straight up this way. I'm exaggerating here a little for the sake of visibility. And then the gradient itself is what you get when you connect. So the gradient vector is this arrow right here. Okay, that is the gradient vector at the point in question, which is negative 1, 0. That arrow is the gradient, and once again, it's perpendicular to the level curve. So that is the whole exercise. Keep smiling. And the best way to study math is just solve all the problems you possibly can. Just do as many of them as you possibly can. But as you solve them, think about what you're doing carefully. Okay, so this way, each one teaches you something. And that's it. Thank you for watching.